Hello and welcome back to TechnoSurgeon YouTube channel. So I recently made a video regarding XFX and Asus Radeon RX 9060 XT graphics card which were leaked by retailers. But now we got some major news regarding it. The gaming clock and everything about it has been revealed as AMD's RX 9060 XT to feature higher game clock than RX 9070 boost clock and PCI 5.0 by 16 spec mentioned, so it's pretty insane that it can support PCI 5.0 with 16 lanes, but yep, it's pretty nice. And the game clock is slated to be 2780 megahertz, and boost clock is up to 3320 megahertz. Do not why there are two different clocks is because game clock is a clock speed where your graphics card is running at that clock speed when you're gaming, while the boost clock is available for you when you're doing different kind of works like content creations and stuff like that, like streaming. Then your graphics card can go as high as boost clock, but during gaming it is rendering things at a lower clock speed. But this just confirms it, like the boost clock is going to be 33.3 megahertz for most graphics card, like for most RX 9060 XT variant, while that of 9070 was 3100 megahertz. So it is relatively faster, but it also needs to be higher because as you can see on the screen here, when comparing to the core count of RX 9070, RX 9070 comes with 3584 cores, so and RX 9060 XT will come with 2048. So I'm not saying since the cores are less and the higher frequency, it will have like way higher performance, but at the same time they need to scale the performance. That's why they are going in all in with the perform with the boost clocks so that they get relatively high performance out of it. But yeah, 3.23 gigahertz boost clock is pretty high compared to 2.5 gigahertz on RX 9070. So yeah, overall it's looking pretty nice. Also we got the news regarding AMD's RDNA 5, and AMD has already announced its unified UDNA GPU architecture, bringing RDNA and CDNA together to take on NVIDIA's CUDA's ecosystem. Do note AMD already had GCN, then they separated into RDNA and CDNA. CDNA was for servers and RDNA was for gaming, but now they are bringing it back with UDNA, and we are going to get one hell of an upgrade because according to this rumor which is going on, it's pretty insane. Like back in 2019 they had a GCN microarchitecture back in 2019, but they split it into two different architecture with RDNA designed to power gaming graphics, while CDNA architecture was specifically catered to compute-centric AI and HPC workloads. But now they are bringing it back, and according to Tom's Hardware and stuff like that, they are changing each time we change the memory hierarchy, the subsystem, it has to reset the metrics on the optimization front for RDNA. And since they don't want it, they are going to be thinking not just of RDNA, RDNA 6 and RDNA 7, but as UDNA, UDNA 6 and UDNA 7. So they are merging it yet again, and they are bringing back something which is called wave groups and wave fronts, and this is going to be one hell of an architecture change. Basically, wavefront is like how GPU's done its calculation, like one segment at a time in a simultaneous fashion. But now wavefront is going to be an AMD term for wave, not wave group is like a group of wavefronts which AMD is going to implement in their graphics architecture, and this will streamline the graphics computation. And they need this wavefront because they are going with MCM architecture maybe for the next generation. We still don't know whether it's going to be an MCM based GPU or like a normal architecture, monolithic architecture. But yeah, since they're going for MCM, they needed this, and yeah, overall it's looking pretty nice. And wavefront is something which Nvidia termed it, and AMD just implement. AMD has been coining out like wavefront and wavegroup, but this is something which has been termed by Nvidia back in the days. But yeah, it is whatever. We are going to get a massive uplift in performance with UDNA, and that is something which we should be excited about. Also, speaking of UDNA, we also going to get a 3D core, which is being speculated or mentioned by most law is dead, and according to it, we are going to get a 3D core in Zen 7 possibly, because with their 3D V-caching technology, AMD was planning to go all in, and now they are planning to implement a 3D virtual core inside the IPC to make a positive uplift in core count as well as performance. So this is something which we should be looking forward at, because AMD had a pretty big huge plan with their 3D V caching technology, which they are implementing and working on it for years now. And we already saw 3D V caching benefits gaming and everything else. And now they are going to be one upping this CPU architecture game with this 3D core, possibly with Zen 7. And do not, we are talking about Zen 7 right now. We still didn't got like Zen 5 and Zen 6 yet, but AMD is planning, as every CPU makers and GPU makers, they plan for 4 to 5 years advance. So this is something which we should keep in mind. And yeah, 3D core is going to be a pretty massive change for not just for AMD or Intel, but in a CPU architecture designing. But yeah, that's it from me today. What do you think about the news? Sound of your thoughts in the comment section below. Like, share, and subscribe, and I'll meet you in the next one. Peace out.